Hi. Nice of you to show up. So here's what I've been working on. This is going to be the idler sprocket assembly. Girlfriend's texting me. Yeah, pretty simple. Adjustable up and down, so should be able to work just good. My welds finally are getting not shitty, so that's a plus. You know, might actually hold up to something. You know, it's almost as if I know what I'm doing. If you've watched any of my older videos, you've known that I have spent so much time trying to figure out a good chain tensioner. So this is looking at like a pretty solid little creation here. It's all square and has enough space and clearance on everything, and it's adjustable and it's solid. It's just tack welded in for right now, but and yeah, that is the sound of that bearing saying, "Fix me, oh, fix me." That needs fixed. But yeah, chain's on, tensioner's on, so that's one less thing I have to do. And did I polish a random part of the engine? Yes. Why did I do this? Hopefully this will bother me enough that I'll polish the rest of the engine sometime. So I had goodies coming in the mail. Let me get my box cutter out and open it up. It's a wobbly jigger. So the goal for today is we're going to move the steering wheel over. I moved the seat over a little, so now the steering wheel is in a real awkward position. Engine's right there, seat's way over here, steering wheel's there. So we're going to move it over a little bit. So that's what I bought this little doohickey for. This is a universal joint. Found it on eBay. It's like $20, I think. You know, inexpensive. Apparently people for race car use these. I don't know if I would, but if they're good enough for a race car, they're probably good enough for a go-kart. So, yeah, the main object here is not to mess with the steering linkages because they are aligned and in a good position. People who know a lot more about racing set up the steering on this go-kart, so I'm not going to mess with that. So that's why I'm just going to attach this universal joint to the steering shaft and move the steering shaft over and leave everything else alone. So that is the goal. So for whatever reason, these are commonly just sold in 3/4 inch inside diameter on this universal joint. So what I've done is I put a little 1/16 inch shim inside of there because the steering shaft is only 5/8. So 3/4 minus 5/8 leaves me with an extra 1/8, 1/16 on each side, and that'll take up all the slot. So yeah, it actually fits in there pretty nice, gets it all centered up and everything. So I'm gonna get this other shaft in the hole and we'll move on. Okay, so I got the doohickey welded onto the thingamajigger. So I'm gonna put this back together and see if I can make this work. Rookie mistake. So what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to have to add another shaft bearing right here because she is wobbly. I don't need no wobbliness in my life. So I'll have to address that later. But the steering wheel, there's a lot more clearance now between the engine and the steering wheel. So I can live with that. So now what I'm going to do is got the gas tank and battery tray. Gonna fit in there somewhere like that. I'm gonna have to fabricable something, and we'll make it work. And I'll show you what I got. I'm not real sure how this is all gonna fit in here yet, but I need to do some more braining. My brain's not working too well today. I'm just groggy and tired. Whatever. Enough bitching. Let's get to work. Well, I made this piece of junk. This is the old battery tray out of the motorcycle, and this is going to hold the gas tank. Put a little web down here these welds are ugly. Ugh. Gross. This is by far the ugliest piece going on this go-kart. I might redo it someday, but for now, it'll work. This goes in here like so. Battery here. Gas tank's gonna be here. Hopefully the fuel pump will fit in there somewhere. So, yeah, that's what I got for right now. Well, would you have a look at that? Battery, in. Fuel tank, in. Fuel pump, in. So I've got it all mounted up here pretty tidy. Fuel line's just gonna go and then through the fuel pump and to each of the carburetors. Got a T for the fuel lines to separate them. So that's all good. What I'm dreading is doing this wiring harness. I just hate wiring. It's so confusing, and if you don't get it right, you don't know what's wrong. Ugh. So I'm going to put on some hosiery. This kind of hosiery. What are you thinking? I'm going to connect the fuel tank to the fuel pump, and the fuel pump to the carburetors. So it should be a nice, easy task. I only have a couple minutes to work in the garage today. Oh, I love it when a plan comes together. So I got the fuel tank, the fuel pump into a T, and the T to each carburetor. What sucks is, you know, on a motorcycle, the fuel pickup tubes are oriented because the gas tank sits right on top of the engine. So I have to make everything like go down, but it's trying to go up. So it looks a little weird, but it does work. So that's about the story of my life. So I done got me one of those heim joint ball end bearing things, whatever you want to call them. 5/8. That's the size of the steering shaft. Got it welded onto this piece of pipe, and I'm going to fit the pipe where it's going to go on the steering shaft, and we'll go from there. I did the thing. So, one line joint here, another one here. Now the steering shaft is super solid, and no more play. The wheels actually turn. Winning. Anyways, I think that's enough for one day. I'm going to call it quits. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'm not ready.